What I'm thinking, you've been there, you've seen it all, and if Nigerians keep talking about true federalism,
Yes.
we have seen a whole lot of talk, workshops, seminars, symposia, talking about true federalism, and we're always moving closer to what we wanted. And every time we move closer, we get to see some kind of retrogression, regression, fights and bickering. Does that tell anyone that we're truly in dire want of a true federalism system in the country? Because in all of this, if you look at them, it's all fantastic. And we say we are actually moving closer to what we wanted. Independent candidacy, autonomy for local government, getting your funds directly. No one should actually come upon you and breathe down your neck. We want to see grassroots development. But with all of this analysis now, it would amount to us maybe not in love with the presidential system of government as a people. What do we want?
For me, I believe in the presidential system. And I think it will take a while before we get there. Many of these mistakes will continue to be made. And as we grope for solutions here and there, we will get it right. It might not be 20 years, might not be 50. We're still very young. And you look at it that there are still things that get amended over, in the U.S. Constitution, every now and then. They say that, oh, we have practiced this for this long. Is it right? We are never going to get a solution, the perfect solution in one day. But if this can be combined with a system that allows the states to create their local governments and a notification of such to the National Assembly for approval. And it then means that the federal government is going to put a standard in place for creating local governments, even though it will still be a sort of dancing around the federalism. But if they put a system which enables the National Assembly to immediately say, okay, we have seen you have met this criteria, you've met that, you've met that, you've met that, you can create this local government, and the federal government will fund them. The danger is that you have some states creating hundreds of local governments without resources to maintain them.
Shouldn't that be part of the key?
Exactly.
Of them being able to create the local government in the first
Exactly.
place?
So if you allow this person on the saddle to say, okay, this is how much money, this is how much revenue I'm getting in terms of internally generated revenue, and this particular area has been contributing this particular much, this amount of money, and I think they'll be able to sustain a local government. And they put all those justifications there. And they say, okay, in terms of population, they meet the criteria. Facilities and amenities, they meet the criteria. Institutions, they meet the criteria. So I believe they should have a local government. And the state, the assembly, they pass that, and they now send it to the National Assembly for approval because of this listing in the Constitution.
You know, I'm amazed because your argument this morning is apolitical on this particular one, which is very commendable, because this was the same argument the Lagos state government was pushing forward when they had those local governments created. But at that time, we saw a lot of politics in it. But now you have brought in an apolitical view to this without looking at politics in all of this, looking at it the way it is. How can we drive this forward and bring it to the extent that it works and it can sail through? We say, okay, this is state A, B, and C. You can create local government if you so desire, and we just have a mention or a notification to the National Assembly.
Yes, I believe that would largely take care of the problem of either trying to create a unitary system of government, that everything comes from the center, or practicing true federalism and a good presidential system of government. There must be a balance. Some of this, the National Assembly is a question of majority. So even while I was in the National Assembly, this was my view. And I expressed it as a member of the Constitutional Amendment Committee at that time. And so did some other people. But it's a question of the majority. Is everybody sharing your view? So for us, we need to continue to press these things forward and look at the merits and look at the benefits for the country. For us, I will continue to encourage people from the corporate world to go into politics. And so you could present your argument without thinking that, or without being a politician, in court. So for us, whatever is right is right. There is no coloration between truth and falsehood. So that's the way I know how to operate.
What about the one where INEC will conduct elections? The state, the SEC will not conduct it.
It is still part of the problem of the responsibility of some of these people. You see, if they have allowed free and fair election, and people are satisfied that this person has been voted for. Look at the election in Ekiti. It was a unified decision. So it goes across board, all the local governments. So you cannot query that. Now, but when it comes to local government, it's a different ballgame altogether. Because the state, they put in their SEC, and the SEC knows why it's there, whoever the chairman is for you to deliver. And in delivering, they do all manner of manipulation. There is nothing wrong for a governor to belong in a particular party. And at the local government grassroots, they are saying, this is the person we know that we want to put there. And they are able to control, now that you have independent candidature, they are able to say, we put this man there. We want to live by whatever mistake he makes for the next 2, 3, or 4 years. And so if that happens, and there's a free and fair election, people will be happy. It's an attempt to resolve the issue of rigging, massive rigging, by the incumbent governors. That is why the National Assembly said, okay, we want to resolve this. We want to put this under INEC, because INEC, whatever you say, seems to be performing better than the SEC.
Tell us before you go, is the state governor in Ekiti going to scrap those LCDAs that were created?
I don't know what he will do. I think from my discussion with him, it's not concluded because, like I said, I don't know why we had 16 local governments and somebody who overnight creates 19 additional ones when those 16 are not entirely viable. There are some local governments that require splitting, and those, I believe the governor will just look at it. He will look at the political implications, and he will look at the fiscal implication. Has he gotten the money? I understand between the two of them now, I don't know the exact amount of money that the amount of debt that the past governor left, but I'm hearing 50-something billion, 80-something billion, 30-something billion. So I think once the government settles down, he will look at the amount of debt, but certainly that debt is not below 30-something billion. And for a state like Ekiti, that is a huge sum. We don't know. I don't know how he's going to run the government with such huge debt without assistance from the federal government. So,
but he will always get his allocation.
But that allocation has been mortgaged. That is where you pay all those debts from.
No, but the last time he said he left quite a sizable amount of money for his successor.
He said he was able to generate something.
No, I mean the current governor.
The current governor. Yes, he left some money.
So he has a way of generating funds internally.
So did Dodi.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
He didn't go out on a free fall. You see, I was part of the committee that recommended this gestation period, the period where we can resolve the issue of court cases. And we thought 3 to 4 months should be given so that if we had any lawsuits, it could be resolved. But look at what has happened. You cannot say a governor that has 3 to 4 months should just sit down idly without doing anything. It's not possible. So the man started creating local governments. He started employing people that didn't employ when he got there, so that someone else will be paying the bills. And he clearly understood what he's doing. I believe he started campaigning for 2018 because his trap was to ensure that the PDP government, first, if we cannot pay those people, so I know the man there, we'll just sack those people and stop the
politics, all right,
those phantom creations of it. So
right.
I don't know.
Thank you for coming on this morning, Senator Ayo Arise.
It's my pleasure.
It's time for the headline news. Victor Matthias is standing by to give us another look at that now. Go ahead, Victor.
Thank you, Chamberlain, and